Hello everyone, it's Sherlock from Take Master Academy, and I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to another episode of our how-to series, where we take 5 to 10 minutes in every session to take a look at how we can actually play a trick on WordPress or on many other platforms that we discuss along the way. And today we want to take a look at basically the first tier and the simplest way of integrating two elements. So what we're trying to do is to import a certain a web page into one of our own so that we can feature that page, or basically maybe it's one of our other pages in another website. We just want to see how we can simply bring it in without worrying about plugins and looking for API keys and all the stuff that nobody really wants to play around with. So without further ado, let's get going. Our objective today is to we have created this page for using a template, a Divi template here on WordPress. We imported this for a hypothetical security company. Now, what we want to accomplish right now is to go ahead and add their Google map down here in this container without having to go and get a Google Map API. Now, in many places, or depending on the features that you want to ask for, this API can be paid. It's usually a paid option. So let's say for whatever reason, if you either don't want to spend the allocated budget on that, or simply just want to have a map down there so people can sort of use without having to go through a lot of complication. How can we do that? So the hypothetical location we have selected is here. Let's say that company is inside this mall somewhere called the Amazing Brentwood. So we want to take a look and see how we can import this into our web page, which was down here. Now, let's go ahead and take a few steps together to see how we can get this done. First, go on Google together. Let's go ahead and search iframe code. Now, if you just saw other search, previous searches down there, please don't go back. Don't look at them. It's about my kitty. But so now an iframe code, what is that? And why do we care about it? An iframe is basically a hypothetical, sort of a virtual frame, if you may, which you can assign to show any sort of content that you want from whatever web page. It can be an image, it can be a video, it can be another web page, it can be basically anything, any content that you tag over there. Again, the content can be either on your own website, on, let's say, in your media section if it's an image, or it can be a web page or something that exists somewhere else. Now, let's take a look at that. For that, we're going to take a look at this website, w3schools.com. I highly recommend playing around here because it's this is the mecca of coding for me. I love it because it's very simple. It's for beginners, and it teaches you how to create different elements that you may be looking for in different languages, depending on how you're trying to program or what you're trying to integrate. Now, in our case, we're going to take a look at HTML, and we're looking at iframes. Now, as I said, iframe is a virtual frame that allows you to import a certain content on your source. You can assign different sizing or a title or even certain styling into it. Now, what we are going to do is just take the simplest one right here, just to see what effect it's gonna create for us. I'm gonna copy this. Now, if you have already tried to import something from Google, for instance, you know that it gives you something called an embed code. So an embed code is realistically an iframe. So we're going to take a look at that. I'm going here. I'm going to click on share this location and get an embed a map. Now you see that it already gives me an iframe. So all I need to do is to copy the HTML. So you see that, again, it's the same sort of snippet as we just copied from W3 School. So if you are trying to import content from a website that does not give you a sort of an embed code or something, then you can easily create your own embed code by having an iframe source code and then inserting the URL that you want to show here. But now we already have this, so I copied the HTML. I'm going to go here. Pretty much every front-end builder or even back-end builder that is out there nowadays, they have this element called code or short code or HTML snippet, depending on what tool you're using. In our case, we're using Divi, so I'm going to select this option, code. Now, see what happens if I insert this. There you go. You have your map. So this is the easiest way you can embed a map of your business or another business, or basically a content from a website on another website. So you might say, oh, but this is not the exact size that I want, and I cannot modify it using Divi. Exactly, you cannot. But what you can do is to go through your settings here on your code itself. Now you see that the width is limited to 600 pixels. I'm gonna take it up to 800 pixels. And I would like to make this a little narrower. So let's call this 350 pixels of height. Very good. Now, there are a lot of things you can do, but here Divi allows me to change the alignment. There you go. Perfect. Now you can still go and edit this if you want to add a certain border or box shadow, depending on what you're creating. But ladies and gentlemen, there you go. I give you. This is how you can easily import content from anywhere else. Now, let's say, for the sake of the example, that you want to import content not from a Google map or something, but from a totally different website. Now let's go and take a look at our corporate website here, SketchPros Studios. So basically, when you visit sketchpros.com, you see certain features that, let's say, because this is my own business, I would like to feature it on my new page. So, and I really like people to see all of this and be able to play with the same feature. Now, pausing for a second, this website is custom coded, so all of these mouse cursor movement that you see have been created here. And I don't really want to go through the pain of recreating this on the new website. Now, what I can do is to take this address, have a new code. So in this case, I'm going to go here. I'm going to take my address. There we go. Copy. I'm going to come to my code, and I would like to replace it with this. Now, what I'm also going to do, because if this is the bare, like the most basic form of code that we could find there, I'm not gonna need a title, so I'm gonna remove that. But I do care about the height and width, because I want to show you how you can actually recreate an illusion that you have something cool on your website when it's actually being shown from somewhere else. So perfect, our iframe code is ready. Let's take this, copy this, go to our new page. Now, let us say that I would like to demonstrate what is there in full width. So I'm going to drop that here. And what, as you can see, is only showing a small portion of my screen. So I'm going to change the width to full width. I'm going to turn this for now to 1920, which would be unnecessary. I can even make it smaller, but the height, I'm going to make it, let's say 800 pixels, not 8,000, but 800 pixels. And there you go. You have that page here, as you can see. Now, obviously, there is also the cursor bar and everything else. If you would like to know how to remove that cursor bar so that it looks completely unique, like implemented here. There are CSS codes, or also other tricks that you can play on this. Take a look at w3schools.com, and also make sure you watch our next video, which is on how to use an iframe to actually create a professional masking and forwarding on your domain, including an SSL on it, which is something that even though should sound very simple to do, most hosting companies are not offering these days. All right, guys, until next one, see you.